It is May. It is South Florida. It is rainy. Kind of a rough afternoon. Those guys are going to come in and enjoy some Nationals baseball against the Marlins. May not be the favorite park of hitters, but we like it because you always know you're going to play, and it's the opener of a three-game series. Hey, we got Max going tonight. That makes everything right with the world. Nats getting into a stretch where they're playing a whole bunch of teams with losing records, except for Atlanta and the Yankees. And right now, you still look at the big picture. Last 21 games, 15-6, third best road record in the National League. Some guys on the DL, but Murphy and Goodwin are going to Harrisburg tomorrow. So maybe there's some really good news and it's not on the horizon anymore. Maybe it's getting a little bit closer. NFP, this whole thing that Davey Martinez is doing with the guys dressing up on road trips, he's taking individual attention to every single guy in the traveling party. I think it's going to mean great things for this team.
Yeah, he's walking the talk, too. He's sticking with it. The Nats have gotten off to a little bit of a slow start because of injuries. 26-22, 4 games over 500, 3 games out in the NL East. I mean, they're treading water. I talked to Davey the other day, and he said, hey, as long as we can stick around 500 until we get everybody back, we're going to be okay.
So let's talk about what the Nats have done. First come the Camels on hump day down in West Palm.
Well, the Caps got over the hump. Now it's the Nats' turn to get over the hump. He wanted to set the stage for that. And you just look at the fun that the guys are having on the bench. Bryce Harper and he have really become close throughout the season so far. He's just doing a good job with telling the guys, hey, let's just win one game today and worry about today. And they're having fun. That's the whiteout trip. They let us dress in white, too. The ball club dressed in white. We had a good time on the flight here into an off day the other night. But that's how he's keeping these guys loose through a tough grind of 162 games.
Yeah, the mess and crew all in white. You're going to have to deep dig on Twitter and Instagram to find some of those. But hey, it was a lot of fun. The Nats got in about 1 in the morning. And, you know, it kind of breaks up things, doesn't make the road trips seem as long, and those late nights a whole lot more fun.
Well, it's just the way the game is evolving right now. When you have young managers, players, the millennials, they want to have a good time. You want to keep it loose. It's how you stay in touch with your ball club, and Dave Martinez has done a great job.
Us old-timers love it, though, when Max Scherzer is on the mound because he takes us back to our youth. 29 road starts since July of 16. He's only 21-3 with a great ERA, low opponent's batting average, and a lot of strikeouts per 9 innings during that time. So we've got another break coming your way. And when we come back, more on Max and tonight's Miami starter. PNC Bank, there's no better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day. And by General Dynamics Mission Systems. Get off the bench, get in the game. Now is your last chance to register for Dynamic Connections 2018. Register today at gddynamicconnections.com. Rain showers, 75 degrees outside, so it's cooled off out there. We're gonna have about 78 degrees in here. So let's talk about Max, and let's talk about some strikeouts, because it's amazing. Single season since 1913, highest strikeouts per 9 innings for a pitcher in his first 10 starts. And Max, better than Kerry Wood, who was amazing for the Cubs, of course, and the great Randy Johnson, and Garrett Cole, who's doing similar things with the Astros this season.
And that would be a single season record if it stands. The strikeouts per 9 for Max. Struck out 13 Dodgers his last start. I think I see it right, Carpin. Help me here. There's 5 right-handers in the lineup tonight for the Marlins. Last time that happened, it was the Phillies, and Max had a big day. He struck out 52% of the right-handers he's faced this season, and righties have a 196 on-base percentage against Max. So heads up tonight, folks. This could be fun.
Derek Lilliquist and Henry Blanco both called that a strike. Here's Jose Urena. He's 0-7 with a 4.5 ERA, but FP, he gets the lowest run support in the National League at 2.51, second lowest in all of baseball.
Well, this game's not played on a computer. You never know what's going to happen, but you would think that run support isn't going to be great again tonight. So he's going to have to be on his game to give his ball club a chance.
Urena's a Dominican dandy, and so are a couple of the Nats. First of all, there's the high-energy guy, Wilmer Depot. He plays defense wherever you want him. He has a walk-off hit this year. There's Pedro Severino, the ultra-aggressive catcher who loves throwing the ball all over the yard. And then, of course, with a dramatic debut just days ago, young Juan Soto. Lots of fun ahead here in South Florida. So the Nats and the Marlins, first meeting of this year. Washington won 13 of 19 last season, including the last 8 in a row. So look at the batting averages, a 101-point difference. The Nats 6.63 runs a game in those, and the Marlins a game, actually a run and a half per game. Jose Urena, third pitcher in the last 100 years to start opening day, and then the team loses his first 10 starts. It's just a very unusual situation. I mean, this guy is not a bad pitcher. 26 years of age, he has 19 career wins, and he takes on this Washington lineup. Nats are 8th in the league in hitting, 5th in runs. Tied with Milwaukee, 1st in homers. Matt Adams against the righty. He's .324 career against Miami, and against right-handed pitchers, slugging nearly .660 with 10 of his 11 home runs, 23 of his 28 RBIs, and 15 of his 16 walks. Urena, 8 career games, 2 starts against the Nats. He's 1-2 against our ball club with a 4.84 ERA.
Yeah, the fastball run 92 to 96. Slider's his best pitch. Opponents hitting 167 against it. You look at his numbers on the season. Lefty's hitting .282 against him. Last start of the 19th against Atlanta, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits over 6 innings. Struck out 2 Braves, walked 1 through 73 pitches in his last start. There's a defense for the Marlins tonight. Dietrich, Brinson, Anderson the outfield. Rojas, Prado left side. Castro, Bohr right side. And JT Real Muto behind the plate. JT just threw the fastest pop time in the StatCast era on Sunday against the Mets. He threw a 1.75 to second to throw out Ahmed Rosario. So heads up, he can throw, he can catch, he can hit, he can run, he can do it all. He's one of the best catchers in the National League.
Yes, there's 6 for 14 caught stealing. His backup, Brian Holiday, 7 for 11. Talked to Davey Martinez about that today. He said, well, it's going to be a pretty good matchup then if their guys can throw and our guys can run. Nats haven't stolen a lot of bases recently. Haven't had that many big innings, and running opportunities don't come around all the time. Here we go with some numbers as we take you inside them, brought to you by PNC Bank. So Trey Turner, 49 games, okay? So tonight's game number 50, and that counts the suspended game against the Yankees, by the way. Average way up, on base percentage up, home runs up, runs, RBIs. He's ready. 0 for 1 career against Urania. First pitch of the game is a fastball up in the zone, and we're underway at 7-11. Happy Friday night to you. Nats had an off day here.
Happy Schurz Day to you.
Yeah. You know, I think that's got a chance to catch on.
I think so too. Last couple of years it has.
1 ball, 1 strike. Turner, 203 career against the Marlins. Corner infielders are shallow. That's to a middle infielder, Miguel Rojas. He's the guy now with the Danny Echeverria now in Tampa Bay. Next will be Bryce, after him Rendon. That's a good look at the home plate umpire. The guy who does more spring training games in the history of the Washington Nationals than anybody, Hunter Wendelstedt, who lives in the I-95 corridor. So he's got the plate, 21st year back there. Crew chief's over at third. Larry Vanover, Angel Hernandez at second, Ramon De Jesus at first, and here's Bryce, who's hit 300 career against Miami. Ball 1. Also 23 homers and 65 RBIs. So he's driven himself in a lot.
Well, we've called him Miami Bryce a lot down here. He usually has good series in this yard.
2 for 3 career against Urania. That one low, 2-1. So Bryce checks in. Tied for, actually alone in first with homers, 15. 5th in RBIs. And if you can believe it, there's a player in the ballpark who walked or has walked more in the month of May than Bryce Harper has. We'll give you that when the fish come up in the bottom of the first. Three-1 danger count.
I move Martin Prado over on the right side. They only had 2 infielders on the right side, now 3. Miguel Rojas stayed at short. So with 2 strikes and a tailing fastball mid-90s, Bryce has the whole left side to hit with.
3-2 with 1 out. Swing and a miss. 92 with some action on it. 2 up, 2 down.
I want to say BP fastball here, 3-2. He had 95, 97, and that was 92. His changeup goes 86 to 91. So I'm not going to buy 3-2 changeup. Maybe just took a little off the heater to get strike 3.
So here's Rendon. On base, 13 of his last 14 since coming off the DL. 273 career against Miami pitching. Well, what a different look to this Marlins team. D. Gordon to Seattle, Giancarlo to the Yankees, Marcell Ozuna to the Cardinals, Christian Yelich to the Brewers. And a couple of holdovers still here, and Martin Prado back healthy. Don Mattingly looking for good things from him. Got to be one of the toughest managerial jobs in baseball right now, what they're trying to get done here in Miami. 2-0. Okay, the toughest job in baseball.
Hey, they're playing good. They're playing well. They just won 2 out of 3 for the Mets. They hung around against Jacob deGrom. There's Derek Jeter. And they beat Jeurys Familia in the 9th the other day. They beat Clayton Kershaw earlier in the season. So you have to show up to play this ball club. They'll fight you. And they've shown the league that they'll fight. So, you know, there's no givens in baseball. It doesn't always go the way you expect it to. So tonight is not a layup by any means.
Yeah, they've been playing hard. They've given some good teams some fits. Dodgers had a rather unpleasant visit here. 2-2 pitch. Rendon rips one. He's way out ahead. Count stays 2-2. So the Marlins at home are 10-15. Nats on the road 14-8. Only the Braves and Brewers at 18-10 have better road records. Nats 7-8 against the East. The Marlins 7-12. We're finally back in the division. Rendon rips one to left. That's big. Prevents the 1-2-3 first inning, and then it gets a left-handed slugger into the batter's box here.
So quick with the hands. Doesn't matter whether it's a slider, a fastball. I think this was a slider that just kind of spun in there. A little cement mixer from Jose Urena. And the first knock of the night for the Nats. You know what comes next. There goes the no-hitter. Anthony Rendon checking that box tonight.
And next up is Matt Adams. 324 career against Miami. He's up there swinging, and a slow hopper to Starlin Castro. The Rendon hit, he is stranded. Max Scherzer, 7-3 career against Miami, about to get to work. Bryce Harper's first at bat. But Anthony Rendon got a base hit. Now Max Scherzer, 15th career start against the Marlins. Here's their lineup. And Justin Boers, that guy I was talking about, he's walked 23 times in the month of May. Most of any batter in the league. Hitting .243, but a big on-base percentage. And the Virginia native, 9 home runs, 23 RBIs. 1 career long ball against Max, who's trying to go 8-1.
There's the arsenal. Any pitch, any time. Opponent's hitting 142 against his 4-seamer.
Martin Prado has always hit well against the Nats. 305 career, right up the middle it goes. And he came into this one as a Marlin this year, coming off a bunch of injuries, hitting 169.
Well, I think they just showed you their game plan tonight. I mean, I could throw a dart and you'd hear an amazing stat from Max Scherzer. I mean, you look at some of them, you have to think, do I need to double check these? Are these misprints? But right now, he's the best pitcher in baseball. We'll see what happens tonight. You remember how the Nats beat Clayton Kershaw? They came out swinging. It looks like the Marlins might be doing the same thing here tonight.
Pretty rare when a catcher bats second, but that's where JT Realmuto is. and he's hitting .316. AARP take on today player profile. JT Realmuto takes on Max Scherzer today by AARP. And it's not been a great matchup for JT. 1 for 20, 7 strikeouts. If he had enough at bats, he'd be in the top 8 in the league in hitting, but not too many catchers qualify for that anymore. He's had 117 at bats in 30 games. His backup, Brian Holiday, has played in 18 ball games. This guy can just flat out play. 1-1. That one right off the end of the bat with a late break.
Yeah, talked to some of the Nats players, some of the coaches, and they were saying against Clayton Kershaw, they all decided to go team game plan. We're coming out, we're hacking. We're not getting the 2 strikes against one of the best pitchers in baseball. And you could see Realmuto was swinging at that first pitch. He had to hold up. I guarantee you the Marlins are going to be ultra aggressive here tonight against Max. But he's got something for that. He's seen it before.
1-2. Severino setting up away.
There's Nats defense tonight. Soto, Taylor, Harper, the outfield. Turner, Rendon on the left side. Defoe, Adams on the right side. And Pedro Severino behind the plate. This was quivering in its boots in the offseason. They thought they were going to remove our old friend there in left center field. But per a city ordinance that says you have to have a certain amount of art in every building in Miami, they had to keep it. I think
so that's what they're calling it.
Yeah, Derek Jeter wanted to get rid of it, and the city said no.
Swing and a miss on a Scherzer heater at 96 for the first out. Well, they've got that big bobblehead collection. That's pretty artful if you ask me.
Yeah. So he struck out 52.2% of the right-handers he's faced this season. One's got a hit, one struck out, so he's right on average.
So here's an interesting matchup every time Max meets the Marlins, and that's Justin Bour. 5 for 25 career against him with a homer and 3 RBIs.
Yeah, they're hacking.
They are. So 23 walks, as I mentioned, in May. For the season, 37, second most to Harper. And by the way, Mike Trout's getting the Bryce Harper treatment now. He's the major league leader in walks in the American League with 46. Or the Mike Trout treatment if you're an Angel fan. 0-1 with 1 out. Max letting it rip early here.
Watch this pitch. It starts away to Justin Bour off the plate, swings all the way across. This is 94. Not sure what cutter maybe, but it went from side to side. Well, I've seen that much break in a Max cutter ever.
Breaking ball, and he had the hitter's feet moving around on that one.
And he drops a curveball in there. Get this stat. This is my favorite one today. He's thrown 2 strikes in the first 3 pitches like this at bat 81% of the time this year. 81% of the time. You guys are turning me into an analytic nerd over here with all these numbers, but they're amazing with Max.
Yeah. Close, close, close. Hunter Wendelstedt took a long look.
It's a great take. I mean, wherever the pitch was, Justin Bour just laid off a pitch we see a lot of guys swing at.
We were going to give you a slide rule for tonight's Max start, but none of us could figure out how to work it.
Hey, man, I'm digging this stuff. I'm changing.
2-2 with 1 out. Pretty good lead by Prado. Marlins run as little as anybody in baseball. They have only 10 steals, lowest among the 30 teams. Fewest homers, fewest runs. But hey, you're in their ballpark. Don Mattingly's a smart baseball guy, and he just wants them to play hard against the Nats. They've got a situation here with a runner aboard, 1 out, and a full count on a big, strong left-handed batter. after a long hold, runner going and a pop-up right side. Prado able to realize what's going on. He gets back to the bag on the catch by Adams, 2 down. That'll bring in their cleanup man, former Cub, former Yankee, Starlin Castro. Last 2 years with New York. Came over here as part of the Giancarlo Stanton deal December 9th. And he made the All-Star team last year after 3 times with the Cubs, Castro did. He has the 7th most hits in the National League with 55. "28 years of age now. In his 9th year in the big leagues. .243 career against Nats pitching. And a high chopper. Rendon comes and gets it after that first big hop. Low throw. Adams digs it. And that's it. Each team with a single in the first. Experience the power and toughness of Ram at your local dealer. Or log on to ramtrucks.com to get to work. It's our Ram Do-Up. Juan Soto coming up in a moment. Guts, glory, Ram, and a young kid with tons of talent.
Talked about at the outset. No score, top of the second. Nats fans with the Nats win and score 7 runs or more get 50% off regular menu prices. Online orders at papajohns.com with promo code NATS50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Here's Juan Soto. Prado plays him on the edge of the grass at third base. 3 for 10 in his first 4 big league games now, 3 starts.
I talked to Don Mattingly today. I said, wait till you see this kid. He said, I saw him in spring training. I've been tracking his career, and I've heard a lot about him.
He was all in on a 2-0.
And he alluded to maybe wanting him in the past in talks. So I'm sure Juan Soto has been the target of a lot of teams.
Couple of healthy hacks, and the count is even. Yeah, quickest way to end a phone conversation with Mike Rizzo is to bring up Robles or Soto. Click. 2-2. Then the off speed got him. 2 Ks by Urania, who's off to a good start.
All right, Nats passes here, $65 a month. In June, the Rays, Giants, Yankees, Orioles, and Phillies visit Nats Park. So if you get the Nats pass, come to all the games for just $65. You got to download it through the MLB Ballpark app. So download it today and start enjoying unlimited Nats baseball. That is a good deal.
Pedro Severino next.
I mean, just imagine if 65 bucks and you could go to Disneyland all you wanted for a month. Same thing.
Wow.
Only better. Maybe.
Right, yeah, right now that gets you about half of a day there.
Yeah.
Having visited Anaheim with my family
Yeah.
last year, and we took advantage of an off day when the Nats are out there. I happen to think the ballpark's the happiest place on earth.
Same.
1-1 to Pedro, hitting .241, and he'll take that one away. And he's out ahead of the off speed, so Urania showing the whole arsenal here early. Severino, one career at bat against Urania with a hit. Oh, way inside. We heard two sounds and it got him. The Nats have their second base runner.
Yeah, sometimes they get outside of that two-seamer, will just run away from him. I've seen him pitch a few times this year. He's hit 4 lefties two lefties this year and 4 righties. That's the 5th right-hander he's hit. So you see the sinker just kind of running all over Pedro Severino's stomach.
Yeah, that was more than just getting the jersey right there.
That's where you flex your abs and say, get a new ball, meat. Just, that's why I do all the sit-ups. Get a new ball, right? Right.
I'm taking your word for that one. Michael A., 3 of 8 career against this pitcher. Shift on. And Michael's had a couple of hits the other way lately. Based on what he sees here, a golden opportunity to just roll one through there and maybe get a runner to third. And Urania thought he had a strike, so did Real Muto, and it goes 2-1. That ball ripped by Taylor to left. See you later. Michael A. Taylor. And a lot of folks are standing and cheering who are down here watching the Nats. And the young man from just up the road in Lauderdale puts Washington on top.
Tell you what, I've been so locked in on Max's start today, I didn't notice all the Nats fans down the first baseline. They're everywhere. Michael A. let it rip. 2-1 count, fastball down the middle. Look at him surround the baseball. That was almost outside, and he pulled it down the left field line. 103-mile-an-hour tater to make it 2-0. Nicely done, Michael A. Sounded loud. Wow. That was outside. That is called hooking a pitch, or hooking a fish, I guess.
Urania gives up. His 6th homer of the year. That was a no-doubter. Michael A. Taylor now 13 RBIs on his 4th home run.
Careful right here. This guy went deep last year here.
He did.
He did. His only career tater on August 1st.
3-1. Michael A. Taylor's 45th career home run. Scherzer taking all the way, 3-2.
8 hits, 4 RBI, most by any pitcher.
Chopper. Max is going to try to leg this thing out with the glove and then the hand. And a good play by Urania.
It's his day to play, folks. He was flying down the line. I mean, what's not to love about Max Scherzer? All right, it's his day. He could have just cruised to first on this. He's got a 2-0 lead. Save it for maybe, I want to go 8 innings tonight. Look at that. That is awesome. That's why you love him. I mean, everybody should run the first like that, in my opinion, pitchers included, but it doesn't happen. When a pitcher does, it's exciting.
Cool. Wilmer Defoe, 317 his last 21 games. Urania with a strike. Wilmer 0 for 4 against him. One. And a chopper to the left side. Took Wilmer a minute to get out of the box. Still made it close. Severino hit by a fastball. Taylor turns one around. 2-0 Nats.
The first 200 home runs hit by the Nats this year. Lexus experience amazing. Want to see 2-0 amazing? Michael A. Taylor on a 2-1 fastball in the outer third. Just rolls the wrists. Little back knee action. Put some numbers on it, boys. 103.3, 388 feet of 2-0. Good effort by the Marlins fan.
Close to home, that had to feel great. Scherzer to Brian Anderson, the right fielder, with a strike.
Hey, while I'm thinking of it, congratulations to the Washington Capitals for advancing. The fellows were watching and listening on the plane as much as we could.
This one up near the girders. Adams over to have a look. Just enough room to make that play.
Nice play.
Yeah, game 1 in Vegas Monday night. And we'll have a chance to watch that, having played a day game in Baltimore against the O's on Memorial Day.
It's a nice glove save right here by Matt Adams. Saved some fans' lives too, by the way. Watch these people in the front row. Look out. Dave Martinez called it. He said 4-1 Caps before the game in his press conference the other night. They won 4-0. Nice call, Skipper. We were all fired up on the plane. Guys were high-fiving up and down the aisles. Everybody excited. John Walton giving everybody a shout out. There's some Caps fans, so congratulations, Caps. Congratulations, DC. I know everybody's big time relieved, and you deserve it.
1-1, Scherzer to Dietrich. who has one career homer against Max and celebrated that a couple of years ago in a lopsided game with the Nationals way ahead. 200 career against the Nats, and he's hit 8 home runs career against our pitching staff. So Max has shown him 3 pitches with break on him. Mercedes-Benz here.
I don't think these two care for each other either, if you remember their history, which is awesome. Old-time baseball. I don't like you, you don't like me, let's do this.
Fastball up and Dietrich late for it. You can hear Max grunt up here trying to throw it by him.
There's the numbers, but that home run was a few years back, and it was a pretty substantial Nats lead at the time.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was like 10-2 at the time, something like that.
And he pumped his fist and had a celebration around the bases that got Max's attention.
The battery thought they might have had a strikeout. 2-2. On a pitch down, Adams to Scherzer. Max there in plenty of time. By the way, Derek Dietrich is now 1 for his last 23 against Washington pitching.
All right, pretty good homestand coming up. Battle of the Bays. First Tampa Bay Rays. Wilson Ramos will be in town, so the Buffalo back. Then the San Francisco Giants have a panda and a giraffe on their team. So for all you kids, it's a zoo homestand. Visit nationals.com to see a bunch of animals.
Tanner goes tomorrow night here against Wei-Yin Chen. .410 first pitch tomorrow. And then on Sunday, Steven Strasburg here against Eliezer Hernandez.
Is that a song by Mr. Eliezer or something like that?
Oh, Kyrie Lacy.
Yeah, that's it. That's who's pitching.
Off to the right side, 1-1. This is Miguel Rojas. 290 in 90 games last year. He was having a good year. He fractured his right thumb. Was on the DL for almost 2.5 months from May 9th to July 18th. He's always hit well against the Nats. 317. 2-1. On a pretty good run right now to get his average up to 262. 2 for 10 career against Scherzer. And the front door breaker stays in there, 3-1. Jammed him into a pop-up right side. Adams is there. Matt's had a busy inning, catches 2 pop-ups, gets an assist to Scherzer. And a 1-2-3 for Max. There is your shutdown inning. Marlins. It's tomorrow in Potomac. First 1,250 fans receive the Trey Turner Roadrunner bobblehead courtesy of Coles Parkway Ford. Fireworks after the game at the Fitz tomorrow. Call them, get online, but get in line tomorrow. We are sure that one's going to go very quickly. I saw a picture of it today and then it disappeared before I could take a second look. Trey first time up, bouncing ball to short. So the Nats first time around the order go 2 for 8 with a hit batter, a Rendon single and a Taylor 2-run homer.
Usually his second at bat way better than his first. We've kind of chronicled that the last week or so.
Chopper third base way, looks foul, and that's the call by Hunter Wendelstedt.
Pretty good play by Martin Prado. If it was fair, it was foul, but he was going toward his on deck circle with Trey Turner running through across his body, and he would have been out. Yeah, that's worth looking at again. That's a nice play.
Hey, yeah. Play the umpire's call. Don't assume anything, right?
Exactly. Plus, you know, it's hard to hear the umps here, so you have to play it out anyways.
I don't know. I heard Hunter Wendelstedt say, foul ball, Martin. Marlins averaging 10,603 a game. And that's a strike call. Turner gone. All right, Dan, let's update the roster, shall we?
Well, Bob, some very positive news to report. You touched on it in the open. Davey Martinez saying earlier today that both Daniel Murphy and Brian Goodwin will start rehab assignments tomorrow at AA Harrisburg. That will be a probably like 5 to 6 inning type of deal for Murphy, at least to start with. The Nationals continuing to build him up slowly, but some very good news. Murphy and Goodwin closer and closer to working their way back.
Yeah, that's awesome news. And of course, when the Nats sent Eric Fetty back after his fine start on Wednesday, they added right-hander Justin Miller to the bullpen. So the bullpen is back at maximum strength, 8 arms. That ball's well hit left side. And Bryce Harper will be thrown out by Miguel Rojas.
Yeah, good swing by Bryce, 110 miles an hour. Didn't really bust it down the line. You wonder how that knee's feeling that he fouled the ball off the other day.
True.
But Rojas looked at Bryce and said, oh, he's not running. I got plenty of time.
Yeah, maybe given the benefit of the doubt on that one. That ball hit his knee hard the other night. Here's Rendon. Similar situation. Single to left in the first.
Good take, just missed.
2-0.
Scared a few fish back there. I think Anthony said that ball barely missed, didn't it? And I think he's either talking about the fish or Hunter Wendelstedt's mask.
2-0. That's a strike. Up in the zone, tailing toward the inside edge. Nats start the night tied with the Mets, 3 games back of the Braves, and Atlanta is in Boston tonight. Weekend series against the Red Sox. That ball drilled, and Rendon's 2 for 2. So he's pulled it and he's gone up the middle. That gets Matt Adams another chance here.
Just so quick to the ball. And look at where his hands go, just right to the baseball. I mean, he's just so quick to the ball. Look, his hands are almost in the strike zone. You talk about lightning quick wrist. I know I say it all the time, but I marvel at it every night, and I see it every night.
Yeah.
It's not that easy.
With authority.
And the Clint Eastwood squint to end it.
Matt Adams swung at the first pitch first time up. Bounced out to Castro at second. Now he's taken a strike.
I saw something the other day with, it was kind of the new weighted OPS, and Anthony Rendon was either 4th or 5th in all of baseball hitting fastballs over 95 miles an hour.
Well, he's had 2 of those tonight.
And it made sense to me, Carp, because A, he's got quick hands, B, he's got a tremendously quick bat, and C, his hands are in the strike zone. So all of those 3 things combined, his hand-eye coordination on top of it, doesn't shock me. You throw 100, he's going to hit it.
Yeah. Some of the quickest hands since Paul Molitor. I mean, Paulie was that kind of hitter.
Paulie, you guys tight? You send each other Christmas cards?
Everybody's Paulie here because of our stage manager, the famous Paul Newman.
Me and Tony are tight at first.
Well, you've been calling him Tony Two-Bag since his first double.
That's right.
2-2. Adams able to stay in there.
This park cannot hold Matt Adams to the pull side. He could hit that forward side and right if he gets one.
448. They have it measured to the bottom of that sign already. That's down and in. And this is interesting. Hunter Wendelstedt, hold on. I think he checked the baseball to see if there was a scuff. And when he saw it, he determined the ball bounced after Adams fouled it. So the inning is still alive. Now we know why they throw out those balls that have little scuffs on them. They want them to be immaculate in case something like that happens. So given another chance, Adams a 2-2. And he'll lift it out to center. Ball's got some carry to it, but the gaps are so big here. That's Lewis Brinson who will lead off the bottom of the 3rd. Rendon's 2 for 2. Nats have left him a couple of times, but lead by a couple. But all the outs have been on the infield so far. And look at this road domination. Amazing. Also, 24 decisions in those 29 starts. A lot of pitchers are never around on the road long enough to even come close to that. Throw in the ERA, the opponent's batting average, and this guy is a warrior, home or away.
Includes the near no-hitter he almost threw against the Marlins down here.
Yeah. Here's Lewis Brinson, who came over with 3 players in the Christian Yelich deal January 25th. After being drafted originally by the Rangers. Part of a big deal that sent him from there to Milwaukee that involved Jonathan Lucroy a couple of years ago. So the Marlins getting some return on some of those deals. And that ball is hit a ton out to right center. Taylor back, and he's got it right near the top of the wall.
It seems like Michael A. Taylor has great series down here every time we're here. Florida kid playing in front of family and friends, probably has a home run, a 2-run homer under his belt. Now he gets on his horse in the gap. You see how many times he looked and found the fence? He knew exactly where he was. The confidence to take your eyes off the baseball, to know where you're at on the road, and the ballpark he's played in before, but it's still not his home ballpark. Great play, great route, great technique, great everything.
Boy, he had a long way to go for that one.
I think I counted 3 looks toward the wall and the fence. This warning track here is wider than most warning tracks, so usually you're about 2.5 steps on a track before you feel the fence. Here it's a good 3 steps, maybe more. But maybe we can rack that again and show how many times he was checking the fence and taking his eyes off the baseball. It takes a lot of confidence to do that, folks.
1-1 to Urania, who's 1 for 16 this year. Totally pulls off that breaking ball. In his career, 10 for 94. Well, Lewis Brinson hitting a .162, almost hit his 7th home run. Taylor had the web of his glove right near the top of the wall there. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. First time around, the leadoff hit by Prado, then Max takes care of 8 in a row.
Well, check out Michael Taylor on Files by Verizon X-Mo. He looked a couple times before this, so there's another glance. I just can't tell you full speed how hard this is. Taking your eyes off the baseball, knowing exactly where you are, feeling the dirt on your cleats instead of grass, and jumping right at the right time, knowing where the wall is. You can get too close to the wall. You can anticipate the wall too soon. You can run into it. That was textbook. The 100% fiber optic network means more speed for more devices at once. Visit getfios.com.
Here's Prado. First pitch of the game the Marlins saw, and he saw, singled right up the middle. So he doesn't get a fastball this time. Martin Prado on the DL 3 times last year. Pulled his hamstring in the WBC while playing for Venezuela. He's going to hit one over Juan Soto's glove out into left center. So he's 2 for 2, single, double. Then he did it 2 more times and was out for the season after mid-July.
Yeah, that's the guy that didn't have a spring training, so he's just starting to get going. I talked to Frank Menachino, assistant hitting coach here in Miami today, and he said he's just starting to lock in. So a guy that if he performs like he has in the past, stays healthy, 300th career double, congratulations. You'd think would help a team in a pennant race later on. There's Frankie Menachino, my old teammate.
Yeah, I think that's a great call on Prado. 291 career hitter. He's getting close to 15. Actually, he's over approaching 1,500 hits, and 34 years of age, still has a great stroke. He's a good enough infielder. So here's Real Muto, who struck out after fouling several off just like that. So Martin Prado has 1,473 hits now. Hitting around .310 career against the Nats after the 2 tonight. Real Muto, no way to catch up with that high heater. 0-2. Nissan pitch cast.
Well, it's just got such a high spin rate, 4th highest of starters in baseball. Just stepping across his body, hiding the ball behind his back, and then because of the high spin rate, the ball seems to almost rise when you're hitting against them if you talk to opponents.
Good numbers with runners in scoring position. That one almost chasing him. 2-2. And the breaking ball well outside. Lefty with pop next. Wow. They did walk him 6 times with this count. Maybe they should have walked him a whole lot more, whoever they were.
They go fastball up and away again like they got strike 2 on JT.
It's a ballpark where you can do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
There it is. And he got the pop-up. Left side, Trey Turner. Max unscored upon through 3. Soto, Severino, Taylor. 2-0 Nats. To the middle innings we go. Drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Nice looking evening now. Toyota Tundra in the foreground. Our crew goes to great lengths to tie it all in with the sponsors and the game telecast. Well done. Soto, Severino, Taylor, top of the 4th.
Tell them well done for a parking lot shot. All right.
Sponsors are dancing in their offices right now. What are you talking about?
Beautiful.
We'll all be rich.
Great
Here's Soto, who struck out first time up. .56 pitches, 33 strikes. First 3 innings for 26-year-old Jose Urena. Struck out Soto on a 2-2 pitch first time. Heard 2 sounds. It skipped into Real Muto's mitt. Two and 1.
When you look at the defense, the Marlins are in right now. You can't shift Juan Soto. He gets the ball to all fields. Until he shows differently, you got to play him pretty much straight up. Just spit on a 2-1 changeup too, FYI.
The knowledge of the strike zone Mike Rizzo talked about upon this young man's call-up several days ago. Creates a great count for himself. And he was all in trying to make it 3-0.
Got JT Realmuto on the backswing too.
Seen a lot of catchers get hit these days.
Might have got too big right here. See the head flying out and everything going on. A little too amped up in a 3-1 count.
Off speed, he walked him. So in 5 big league games, his 4th walk already. The Nats have their leadoff man on for the first time tonight. Severino next. And he got hit by what I guess you would call a high sinker that chased him inside first time right before Michael A. Taylor went very deep. Severino turns on one. Prado to Castro. Around the horn go the Marlins for their 35th double play of the year.
Time for our 4th drive of the game. Go back to Michael A. Taylor's last at-bat. 2nd inning, Severino on, gone. His 4th home run of the year. RBI's number 12 and 13. And Juan Soto is the helmet taker offer guy. How about that? Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. Between the hair flip on his first home run and the helmet taker offer guy, he's been watching the games on Masson, I'm calling. I mean, he's got everything down.
Well, we know who was watching on Masson the other night, didn't we?
Yeah.
Got the fantastic video from the academy down in the Dominican. Well, here's Michael A's 2nd go around tonight. He's now 4 for 9 against Urania, career with a homer and 3 batted in. Milwaukee and the Mets just getting underway. Nationals 1 ahead of the Brewers for National League homers with 63 now. 2-0 pitch in there.
Check out the mound visits on the scoreboard here. They're baseballs.
Wow.
It was not a very enthusiastic wow, Bob. I expect a little more out of you right there.
Well, when I first saw him a couple innings ago, I said, wow. So that's it. Top of the 4th, Nats gone. Max back to work with a 2-run lead. Good hitters coming up.
Is well documented, but part of the reason that Max has continued to improve this year is because his numbers against left-handed hitters have continued to improve this year. 6 years ago, left-handed hitters were batting .291 against Max. 2 years ago, .241. Now lefties are hitting just .188 against him, and he sees so many lineups stocked with left-handed hitters. I asked Matt Adams, who faced Scherzer when he was with the Cardinals and Braves over the years, what he has seen that's led to Max's effectiveness against lefties this year. And he said, He said the cutter is huge that Max started throwing a couple years ago. It gets lefties moving, Adams said, speeds them up on the inner half, and it gets guys wanting to cheat to that pitch, and then Max can drop the changeup on him. And he said if you're thinking cutter coming in on you, you can't even get to that changeup. So the cutter has really been huge. The curveball a few years back, Max's first weapon to battle lefties. But Matt Adams saying that cutter, guy, is really a big part of the reason that Max has continued to improve against left-handed hitters.
All right, Dan, well done, sir. And that cutter, you start your swing, and when you're in the hitting zone, the ball's not where you think it's going to be. So devastating it can be. To go with all of his other ingredients.
Well, I mean, you just talk about the way Max has evolved, the way the game's evolved. You know, he hides the ball well. He's a high fastball guy. You got a bunch of uppercut swings now and launch angles. The strikeout rate in baseball is the highest it's ever been. So actually, sinker ball guys are the guys that are paying the price now for the new swings that everybody has. And so the reason his strikeouts are up, his numbers are at an all-time high, is because he's evolved with the game. And now he's throwing the high fastball. You can't get to it. In 1984, the year Max was born, there was 2 qualified pitchers that averaged a strikeout per 9 innings. This year through Wednesday, there was 31 pitchers that averaged a strikeout through 9. That's because the game has evolved into a home run, strikeout, or walk game. Now you got a strikeout pitcher with plus stuff. He's taking advantage of it. He's not dumb.
Hard breaking ball inside on 0-2.
You're going to do that to me, so I'm going to do this to you. And on top of the makeup that he has the ability in the arsenal to execute the game plan to nullify the hitter's game plan in today's game, if that makes any sense.
No, makes a lot of sense. Well put.
It's a perfect time for Max Scherzer to be pitcher in the major leagues.
Swing and a miss. That thing diving at 85. Strikeout number 3. You know, some nights he's not going to strike out 10 or 15, but he'll get some good outs and maybe last a while.
Well, he's struck out 39 his last 3 starts and walks 5. That takes a lot of gas out of the tank. So maybe tonight against a young ball club that wants to prove their worth at the major league level, he has to do it a different way. And so far it hasn't been through the strikeout. He has 3 strikeouts now through 3 in a third. But I'm telling you, you look at him right now, I mean, he might be tired. 15, 11, and 13 strikeouts his last 3 starts.
Well, and you were right on this from the first pitch he threw tonight. Marlins being aggressive, so Max Scherzer is letting them get themselves out to a certain extent.
I don't want to say tired. Guys get upset when you say that. But maybe, you know, he's left a lot out there his last 3 starts. A better way to put it.
Yeah. There's a tapper. Scherzer can't reach it. He'll keep on going. And Adams not able to make the exchange. He was going to have to be quick. Castro's always been a good base runner. And we'll see how they score it with a runner at first, 1 out.
I'm going to say it's a hit. Just kind of letting that replay run. What do you think? I don't think they get him right here with a good feed, do you?
I thought he would beat him. Now, if that's the first hit of the game, you think twice or 3 times about it. And they have given a base hit. So Brian Anderson out early in his count first time. And a breaking ball up in the zone. Anderson out of Matt Reynolds' alma mater, the University of Arkansas. Marlins 3rd rounder 4 years ago. Hit 262 in 25 games for the Fish toward the end of the season. One. I think that play was over as soon as Max couldn't cut it off. Anderson has hit into 5 double plays on the ground. With the runner going, fouled off. So they're trying to get something going here against Scherzer now that they have a base runner.
I mean, it's a big time gamble by Don Mattingly, but I like it. He's trying to create something on offense. And you got to be creative against Max. You got to steal, read balls in the dirt, take an extra 90 feet whenever you can, hit and run. It's a gamble because Max misses a lot of bats. 44% of Max's pitches have been missed by right-handers this year.
1-2. Whoa, that got him. Max has thrown a number of pitches. I think I mentioned one last inning that was seemingly chasing JT Realmuto, and that one kept going and got Anderson. So they have 2 men on for the first time tonight.
Max taking a little walk to regroup right here. Looked like a changeup got away from him. Anderson kind of left his elbow there. Max is upset he didn't finish it. That's what that motion's about.
Max Scherzer, 4th hit batter of the year. And of course, that's off speed. So here's Dietrich, who pulled the ball to Matt Adams first time up. That one right off the hands. Adams had just come forward and tagged Dietrich out. So Castro to third, Anderson to second, 2 down. Miguel Rojas, and he popped up to Adams, first time up.
I believe Miguel's had a little success against Max. I want to say he's booked them before.
He has a homer. Yeah, 3 for 11 overall. I mean, 2 for 11. Oh. 2-0 ball game, and the tying runs at second.
You remember that last game too against the Dodgers when Max struck out 13. He really dug down deep in that one. I mean, not that he does it normally, but really deep in that last one. Dodgers scored a couple of runs in the 9th for a no decision for Max, but he worked especially hard his last start. And I was wondering driving to the ballpark today if that might affect him here against the Marlins.
Season high 121 pitches in 7 innings. Takes a lot of pitches to strike out 13 guys. He walked 3 in that game.
Remember, it looked like he might be done. He talked to Davey Martinez. He talked him back into going out there. He went out there for 1 more inning. Max Muncy was the thorn in his side that game, and he wanted to get Max Muncy 1 more time. Got him to ground into a double play in the 7th.
I think a baseball's about to disappear off the scoreboard here.
It's gone. That might be more of a 20-second timeout to give Max a blow here.
Yeah. Two and 0.
Do you fight back into the count here? You are Max Scherzer. Or do you go after Brinson, excuse me, on deck?
Yeah, he hit the ball almost a mile first time up. Rojas, more of a veteran guy.
2-0 slider.
Mercedes-Benz pitch cast. Then he drops the off speed on him. 2-2.
Wiping the sweat away. What was this? A slider that didn't slide or a changeup? I'm not sure. Still not sure. Maybe a changeup. Tried to elevate.
Pretty good battle here.
Really reaching back now, 96 right there. Fastball away. A lot of times he'll follow that up with a slider that looks just like it and then breaks out of the zone. He's got a pitch to play with here. He might try to expand.
Ball driven to center. Here comes Taylor. It's on the ground in front of his glove, and this game is tied. It's one of the best at-bats we've seen this year against Max Scherzer as Rojas drives in too.
So they called the slider here, and if you saw Pedro Severino, once he called the pitch, he set up away, but he pounds his glove on the ground. Watch the target Severino's given. He wants this in the dirt. He wants this lower than low, and Max wanted to throw it there, just left it up enough for Rojas to hit it to center field. So that was the right pitch in the right situation. It just didn't break the way Max wanted it to. They wanted to bounce that to get strike 3. Didn't happen. Tie game.
Number 8 hitter Lewis Brinson. So an infield hit, a hit batter, and then Rojas bringing them both home.
That's the exact pitch he wanted to throw right there.
No swing, says Ramon De Jesus, the first base umpire, on the appeal. Actually, that looks like Angel Hernandez. Become a long inning, 22 pitches worth.
The automatic strike there, 3-0. Max will take it, trying to get back to the dugout and regroup a little bit. I wonder how much he has in the tank here tonight.
Three and two.
Doesn't get much time to regroup. He's leading off.
Rojas on the move here, way outside. 4 of the last 5 Marlins have reached, and now the pitcher, Jose Urena. First walk by Max.
This would be the worst time to run out there and talk to Max. It looks like he's laboring a little bit. He's taking a long walk around the mound, working hard to get back to the dugout. And even though you already went out there once this inning, another trip wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Who cares how many mound visits you have?
Now it's time for Lowe's whole team together. So pitches per game, the Nats have 4 of the top 5 as far as Ironman starters who throw the most pitches in the league, National League. Here comes the 0-1 to the opposing pitcher, and Urania looks at one that just misses.
I mean, that's great right now, and we're having fun with it, but you wonder how that's going to look in September. You know, Davey Martinez's theory is, you know, I got some pretty good starters, and I'd rather have them in the game at, you know, the latter stages.
Urania puts it in play, short right field. Bryce is there. So a long inning. Marlins tie it. The big blow, the Rojas 2-run single right in front of Michael A. Taylor.
A gorgeous night indoors here at the ballpark, Marlins Park. We love it here. We love coming here. We love knowing we're playing. So the fans that are here, they're having fun. They're smiling. Why not? It's Friday night. You're at the yard, and Bryce is smiling in the dugouts. And where's my Anthony Rendon shot? Yeah, there it is. We always put Anthony because he's always smiling. Brought to you by Dominion National, providing innovative high-value dental and vision benefits to area employers and individuals. August 1st last year in this ballpark, second inning, Max Scherzer gone. I believe he was squaring around to bunt before what you're seeing here. He pulled it back and then did this. His only career tater. The look on his face after it left his bat, he knew it. It was over the bullpen. It was over the dancing people and the Clevelander. High-fiving no one. He got the silent treatment, then everybody went nuts. And Jason Worth came out of the clubhouse to join the celebration. If we got enough time, you'll see him here at the end.
Then that bizarre scenario where he came out to pitch the next inning, threw one warm-up pitch and shut it down.
Yeah, my neck.
Something with his neck. Scherzer, Defoe, Turner, top of the 5th. Urania, 69th pitch, so he's back even in this one. 3 hits, the Taylor homer, and the 2 singles by Rendon. All he's given up. Max tried to beat one out first time on a high chopper to the left side.
You know, normally you're thinking get on, score a run, 3-2. But after that last inning, the way he's worked hard his last few starts, you're wondering if that's a good idea or not here.
Yeah. Hit a homer or maybe go take a seat. You just never know with Max what he's going to do next. We've said that so many times. 1-2 count. He's gonna take it low.
Spit on it. Not a problem.
And the swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Urania.
All right, Friday, June 8th, Ryan Zimmerman bobblehead night. That's presented by Delta Airlines. Does a fine job flying the Nats around. First 25,000 fans pick up the third of 5 Nats bobbleheads this season. Giants in town, 7:05. Visit Nationals.com. 25,000 Ryan Zimmerman bobbleheads. They'll be there. Sunglasses indoors. I'm digging it.
Here's Wilmer. Bouncing ball left side first time. Prado on the grass. Looked like Wilmer was choked up a bit, maybe with a left field idea there.
Sunglasses at night indoors.
That is cooler than cool.
That's cool. He's rocking them. Those look like prescription sunglasses, though. Crushing a hot dog like he's going to the electric chair. That'd be your last meal. You save it. You're going electric chair. That's what you'd ask for.
Defoe to center. It would have to be grilled, though.
I know.
You can boil me, but don't boil my hot dog. 2 down here in the 5th. No better time to act than today. PNC make today the day. Justin Miller is in the Nats bullpen. This guy has really been good. 9 games, 23-3. So we're talking about an 8-to-1 strikeout to walk thing going on there. Tigers, Rockies, previous big league experience. Looking forward to seeing him.
That's dominating the level you're at.
Yeah, when the situation is right. Turner 0 for 2, a grounder and a called third strike. Close.
Good take.
Swing and a miss. 6 Ks for Urania. He's back even. That was a pretty good shutdown inning for him. Top of the order, straight ahead for the Fish.
For every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season. Let's check out some of Max's strikeouts tonight. By pitch type on the year, excuse me. Fastball 53, changeup 23. The cutter, get this, fewest innings ever pitched to reach 100 strikeouts in the history of baseball. He reached it in just 63. Kerry Wood did it in 2001, but his was 65 2/3. So the fastest ever to reach 100 Ks. He's got 107 right now.
Martin Prado, first inning single, third inning double. And he's now 15 for 33 career against Max Scherzer. And that one in the zone, lower part, 1-1.
I'll tell you what, Max Scherzer struck out 13 Dodgers last time. Was brilliant, 121 pitches, got no decision. Tonight he's hard hat lunch pail guy. He's grinding. These are the kind of games you get a win, Carp.
That ball's well hit to left. Soto chasing, and it stays in the yard, hitting halfway up the bullpen fence.
Even after that double, these are the kind of games where the least expected things happen. Martin Prado has handled Max all night.
And 3 consecutive hits and 2 doubles.
Yeah, you're just hoping this one stayed in the yard. Single first time up, double second time up, and now another double for Prado. I'll tell you what, if I'm in a pennant race, I want this guy on my team. I don't care what his numbers are right now. Bullpen celebrating a little early down there, and now it's up to JT Realmuto to move the runner.
Martin Prado now has 59 extra base hits against the Nats over the years. Realmuto has struck out behind his single and popped up behind his double. First one straight back to the screen.
Would you bunt here to get a 3-2 lead possibly off Max Scherzer?
I think with a lefty coming up, I might. You know, Bohr, you mentioned earlier, decent numbers against Max. Time had been called. No pitch there.
Guy in the batter's box hitting .316 though, coming into tonight.
True.
Just throwing it out there. I don't know.
But 1 for 22 career against Max, but some people would say he's due. That one stays in the top of the zone. Now it's 0-2. Nissan will track it.
Not the sharp break Max is used to, but he'll take the strike.
Swing and a miss on another hard-breaking ball. Scherzer, strikeout number 4. Realmuto twice.
Big strikeout too, and maybe his best slider of the night. And the reason I say that is it teased the outer third of the strike zone and then just had that little break at the end away from Realmuto's bat to get a big first out here in the 5th. That ball doesn't break, Carp. Realmuto can hit it to the right side because the ball's going that way. It just kind of follows your swing. So the fact that it had that late break got him an out instead of advancing the runner.
Max struck out Bohr last time swinging on a pitch down and in. Justin fouled out to Adams first time. And that one evidently got Hunter Wendelstedt the way Severino turned around.
Yeah,
Maybe thinking the umpire was going to get staggered right there.
He can't hurt Hunter.
He is a big man.
He's like a fire hydrant back there. Just bounces off him. Big old red fire hydrant.
His dad Harry was a great umpire over 30 years in the big leagues.
He used his dad's brush to brush home plate his whole career. His dad gave it to him. And then when he umped a World Series game behind the plate, he used it that game and retired Harry's home plate brush.
Cool. Very cool. 1-1. I know down here in Florida, the Wendelstedt umpiring school has been in existence for quite a long time, started by Harry.
They're tough to get into. They have high SATs.
High tolerance of pain and courage, I would say. Now that is a busted bat. 2 hops out to Defoe. Second out, Prado to third.
MLB at Bat is your #1 Nationals app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. All kinds of fun stuff with this app. You can watch games anywhere. Do whatever you want. Download MLB at Bat today. Martin Prado, Anthony Rendon, a couple of third sackers having a chat. Those two are 5 for 5 between them.
They are. And Rendon's due up second in the 6th. Castro, the infield hit with 1 out last inning that got that rally started. This is a fly ball to left. Soto, it's his ball behind his shortstop, and he's got it. So here we go. Top 6, 2-2 game. Bryce Harper looking for his first hit. Rendon, his third.
Third sackers tonight. Anthony Rendon, first time up, knock. Lightning quick hands on the fastball here. Back up the middle. And how about Martin Prado's night? First pitch of the game, he got a single. Then a double, first pitch the Marlins would see, and then another double. So both third basemen on their game tonight. And they both know that with 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Yeah, you figured Martin Prado wouldn't be hitting under 200 for long. So here we go, top 6. Bryce has struck out swinging, grounded out to short on a ball that was hit extremely hard right at Rojas, shaded up the middle like he is now. 2-0. Not many folks in the upper deck in right field, but on a 2-0 count, they might be on fly ball alert. He's visited that part of this yard many times. He's going to lash that one foul. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons with our league leaders. Highest walk rate. So that's per walks per numbers of at bat, right? As mentioned earlier, Mike Trout now the most walked hitter in baseball, and Bohr the most walks in May. Nats box, it's Rendon 2 for 2. The big blow, Michael A. Taylor with 1 out. Severino hit by a pitch in the second. Michael hooked one down the line and left. that, other than the Rendon second single, is it for the offense. Good take by Bryce, and it's 3-2. Have a look at the AB from Mercedes-Benz. Swing and a miss on a fastball up. 4 strikeouts swinging in the last 5 batters for Jose Urena.
Yeah, elevated fastball to an elevated swing. That was 96. The pitch before that was 97. So he turned it up a notch, obviously, in a tie game here in the 6th.
Anthony from 248 to 261 in 2 swings. He lashes one right off the third base bag. So the third baseman putting on quite a show tonight. Prado 3 for 3. Now so is Rendon. He put one right on top of the pillow there for his 8th double.
Have a night, Anthony. He's been hitting the ball hard, nothing to show. His average down to 248 before tonight, but climbing drastically with the 3-fer. Now he's hitting 268, so the average up 20 points with 3 hits here tonight. More importantly, the go-ahead run in scoring position here in the 6th.
So Adams and Soto the next 2. Matt still looking for his first career hit against Urena, 0 for 8. Ground ball to second, fly ball to center tonight.
You know, you just look at Anthony Rendon. We all know he has so much fun playing the game. He's so relaxed. But if you're playing against Anthony and you see him talking to everybody, the league must think he's just the coolest dude in the league. I mean, he's always talking to everybody. They're always laughing together. I guarantee you nobody has one bad thing to say about the Nats third baseman ever.
Ball skipped into the mid of Rio Muto there.
Look at, he's talking to Rojas right now. Look at him. Smiling, laughing, having fun.
By the way, we haven't checked in on the Braves. They're 2-2 in the 5th at Boston. 2-2 here, 6th inning. Phillies half game back.
One slider.
By the way, there's Nick Whitgren, one of their 6 right-handers. Philly's getting blasted right now by the Blue Jays in Philly. 6-1 5th inning.
Switch the bullpens back, by the way.
Yeah. Matt Adams makes a loud sound on a drive to center at the 407, on the wall and out of here. Or is it? Umpires say homer. See you later. 4-2 Nats. Ball hit what appeared to be a black surface right behind the top of the green wall. And Matt Adams with his 12th of the year.
I mean, this ball was pulverized. We've seen it so many times. You throw Matt Adams an off-speed pitch, he swings over it, and then you go back to the fastball right when you think they're going to double up. It just hit that black thing below the fake bushes out there that are really real, and now the Nats are up 4-2. There's the details. 421, 105. Guarantee you that was a low launch angle too. 22 degrees on the launch angle. Matt Adams picking up his ball club big time right there with his 12th home run.
Yeah, and guess who's tied for third in the league in homers with 12. It's a ground ball by Juan Soto right to the bag for Justin Bourne. 2 outs. Matt Adams now has 30 runs batted in, which puts him just out of the top 10 in the league. What a pickup, especially with Ryan Zimmerman DL'd right now. But well before that, establishing himself as a huge presence on this club. Here's Severino, 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and hit into a double play, and this one for Rojas. So Bryce Harper had just struck out. Looked like Urania was on a roll. Rendon doubled off the third base bag, and then Adams homered off the base of the foliage in dead center. Taylor, 2-run shot second. Adams, 2-run shot sixth as far as the innings go. And the Nats back up by 2. And here comes Max Scherzer. 82 pitches, 53 strikes. Anderson, Dietrich, and Rojas. So the Marlins go righty, lefty, righty here. Strike 1.
Is this an empty the tank, lay it all out there inning for Max?
Yeah, could be.
84th pitch coming. Got a little pep in his step.
Due to back second in the 7th. Fish box. Prado, single, double, double. Castro in it, infield hit 4th inning. The big blow after Anderson was hit by the pitch. Following Castro's hit, the Miguel Rojas line drive to center that made it 2-2 at the time.
You know, when Matt was coming around third base on his home run, Martin Prado tagged him just in case it wasn't a home run. And he kind of avoided the tag. He got a little awkward around third base on his trot.
You know, the first guy to raise his right hand in that circling motion was the second base umpire, Ramon De Jesus. It was close.
2 years ago, that wouldn't have been a home run.
That ball's caught. If memory serves me correct, FP, it was 418 to the deepest part out there, maybe 421, one of those numbers right in that. It's 407 now to the right of the beautiful sculpture.
It's either caught or off the top of the high wall they used to have out there.
The wall was higher, you're right. 3-2 from 0-2.
Lowered the fence too, which I think is huge. You got a chance to rob home runs now.
They brought it down and in a bit in right center. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It's the fence lowered.
Wow, Max had him 0-2 and lost him. That's his second walk tonight. Kickoff Pride Week Tuesday, June 5th. Night out at Nationals Park. Nats Rays. Tickets for Night Out include a donation to Team DC when you purchase through our special ticket events page. Check it out. Visit nationals.com. Dietrich, a couple of ground balls, both to Adams. He goes high and foul. Second deck, allowed strike 1.
Tell you what, if Max can get through this inning, he's giving his skipper all he's got tonight. It's just been one of those, hey, guess what? He's human nights. And he's still only given up 2 runs on 5 hits.
1-1. Nissan tracks it.
Close. He wanted it away. He pulled it across, which might be a sign of fatigue. We'll see.
Yeah, could have been called a strike. Umpires will often not do that when the catcher's moving to another side. Target away. Runner going. Foul.
Hit and run again. Bob Mattingly in his pre-series meeting today must have said, hey, if we get a chance, we're hitting and running tonight, so be ready. Yeah. Second time the Marlins have done it.
One and two the count, nobody out.
Davey Martinez looking at his bullpen and his options on his scorecard.
And he has one more option tonight. Dietrich hits it hard and foul. Right into the 9 o'clock hour here. Marlins Park. Nats on the road, 14-8. Fish at home, 10-15. Bob FP. Dano. And watching a pretty good battle here. Michael A. Taylor and Matt Adams, your 2-run home run hitters. Runner holding 2-2, and Dietrich a fly to right. And Bryce Harper is going to watch it fly well out of here. Upper deck by Dietrich. And this game is tied. And tonight both Marlin homers have followed 3 bags, a hit batter and a walk.
Yeah, Dietrich was on Max this whole at-bat. I mean, he hit one foul early in the sequence, and then he got a slider 87, slow leg kick, and he's been a thorn in Max's side throughout the years, and he does it here again.
Rojas. So for the first time in 24 games, a Nats starter has given up more than 3 earned runs in a game. 3.5 weeks of low-scoring starter success. 0-2 now as Rojas pulls a foul. So about to deliver number 100. Little flare, right field. Adams picks it off. Matt Adams over the shoulder, well done.
Wow. I thought Wilmer was the only chance to get this ball. He was flying from his second base position, but Matt Adams, we've seen him do this before. When you think of Matt Adams, you think of pulverized baseballs off his bat, not athletic plays over the shoulder like that. What a play by the Nats first baseman. The effort, the hustle, both guys there. I think Wilmer said, "I got it," but he wasn't running into Matt Adams, was he?
That was really good. Really good. First out of the inning, badly needed. Here's Lewis Brinson. He's going to drive one to right. Bryce Harper backpedaling, 2 outs. And a moment ago I said the 2 Marlin homers preceded by free bags. They're 2 RBI swings, to correct myself. The Rojas 2-run single preceded by a hit batter, and then the walk in front of the Dietrich homer. J.B. Shuck is the pinch hitter, and Wander Suero for the bottom of the 7th. If Max can get this out and get the Nats back in the dugout. If he gets this out, he could still have a chance to be the winner. J.B. Shuck 1 for 3 career against Scherzer with a home run.
Yeah, when you've seen a guy pitch for 3 or 4 years, you could just tell by body language early how it's going to go. And with Max tonight, you're wondering how all the pitches and all the strikeouts are going to pile up. We've seen it in the past where he's had less than max outings after he's had 3 or 4 great ones in a row.
That's well placed for a base hit.
And, you know, that's why it's a full season. That's why you have 33 starts. There's going to be some nights when you don't have your A+ electric stuff. And I just think based on what he's done so far this year and how well he's done it, this was going to happen one night. Not that he's getting lit by any means, but he's been laboring since the first pitch tonight in the sense that you could see just in his facial expressions, his body language, that I guess less than a full tank is the nicest way to put it, because he's human. And if you pitch 33 starts in a year, you're not going to strike out 15 guys a start. It's impossible. It's not a video game.
Tough out to get. He'll try to get Prado for the first time.
And oh, by the way, we're super spoiled. He's spoiled us rotten, right?
Every time out. Martinez desperately wants Max to end this inning. He'll be hit 4 in the 7th, but if he can keep it 4-4, still a chance to get a W on his ledger. How to get out the very tough Prado. A lot of snap on that breaking ball for pitch number 106. Time given. Max went ahead and did not risk any injury by stopping.
One slider away, you'd think, here after that fastball, and see what they decide on.
Yeah, there it is. Right off the end of the bat to even things up.
Double up on it, try to expand with the slider even further off here if you're Max, or elevate that fastball up in the zone over the letters.
Really close. Good take by Prado. And now Shuck at first gets a head start. Ground ball to short. Going to be a long throw for Trey, but he never picks it up on the backhand side. And Prado limping as he passes the first base bag.
Oh, he's had hamstring problems. And I think he yanked it again.
By the way he's standing there, you know he's dejected. As we mentioned, 3 times on the DL because of his right hamstring last year.
Can't believe it. Look at him. Right now he's wondering if it's a cramp or he pulled it again, but when you've had problems with it chronically, you know what you did immediately. So maybe he's not wondering. Maybe he's hoping it's just a cramp.
They'll probably have to call on their young infielder, Yadiel Rivera.
Yeah, I saw it right around the bag. I was watching him try to leg it out. It was right there. Kind of see the miscue with Trace setting up. He kind of sat on that ball and it ate him up at the end. Got to the backhand a little quicker than he anticipated. He had to wait for the ball. Watch. And that little last hop, and the fact that he had to wait, it came up and bit him.
So Trey gets an error on the play. Let's go down to Dan for an update.
Bob, as soon as that error was made by Trey Turner and Max Scherzer knew that this inning would be extended, he turned to the dugout and started telling Davey Martinez, I'm okay, I want to stay in this. He could tell Davey might be coming out to get him, and he immediately was pleading his case to stay in, and it looks like he's going to get that opportunity.
So Don Mattingly with the home plate umpire, Hunter Wendelstedt.
Yeah, the pinch runner doesn't have his cleats on. He had to run back in the clubhouse to get his cleats, is what I'm being told.
The only infielder they have left is Yadiel Rivera.
Maybe they're going to pinch run a pitcher here while whoever's going into the game gets loose. Sometimes that happens, a starting pitcher. Because I can't believe an extra player wouldn't have his cleats on.
Right now it's Dan Straley, a starting pitcher, to be the pinch runner.
Well, if Max does it right here and keeps this a tie ball game, he's doing it with sheer determination. And maybe that's what his manager's betting on.
Real Muto, the hitter. Max has retired him 3 times tonight, twice on strikes and a pop up to short in between.
Yeah, Max knows himself, obviously better than most pitchers do. He'll tell you things in the dugout like, I have 9 pitches left in me. I have 7 pitches left in me before he goes back out for the next inning. He knows his limitations, so based on that is why Derek Lilliquist and Dave Martinez are letting him go.
Good slider. Tim Collins joining Wander Suero. Probably Max's last hitter, left-handed bore on deck. That's why Collins is up. Oh-2. And he popped him up. Short center. Michael Lay's got plenty of time to get there. So Max Scherzer still a chance, if the Nats score, to be the pitcher of record. 4-4 after 6. Tip our caps to them tonight. We show you Old Glory. It's our Navy Federal Credit Union troop recognition. And as we commence on this Memorial Day weekend, want to keep them in mind 24/7. Proudly serving the armed forces, veterans, and their families for over 80 years. Navy Federal Credit Union. So changes are afoot here. Max Dunn, after a super hard-fought 6 innings of work, taking him well over 100 pitches. So into the Marlin bullpen they go with right-hander Nick Whitgren. 16th appearance. This guy's been tough. 15 2/3, 1 earned run, thus the microscopic ERA. 17 strikeouts, 7 Ks, and an opponent's batting average in the 160s. So both starters, well, one gone officially. Max about to when Stevenson hits for him next. So here's Michael A. And he had a big time rip at that. All right, let's see what the Marlins did here with their defense. That is Brian Anderson to third, and then J.B. Shuck to right. Taylor bunting, and he couldn't hit it fair.
Well, if you're wondering why Don Mattingly pinch ran one of his starting pitchers instead of throwing somebody in, he wanted to wait till maybe Davey Martinez came out to take out Max Scherzer, see who was coming into the game before he made a substitution. He's got a lot of options. He could put Derek Dietrich at third and maybe somebody else into the game. So he had a lot of ways to go with that. Maybe he wasn't ready to do that based on he thought Max was coming out. So to buy himself time, he pinch run a pitcher who had to go get his cleats.
So there's Andrew waiting to hit for Scherzer. Nick Whitgren, 26 years of age. And Taylor hits one pretty well near the right field line into the corner and not foul by much. That was almost a double or maybe a triple rattling around down there.
Pretty good swing by Michael A. to keep the at-bat alive, too.
Taylor 0 for 2 career against Whitgren. So pitch number 6 about to happen. And a rolling breaking ball hammered out to the gap. Michael A. is going to make a big turn. Justin Bohr got out of his way, and he is safe at second on a ball that just bounced up high enough for Taylor to get under it. He almost had some interference when Michael A. rounded that bag.
That's a great at-bat. You're right. Justin Bohr was scrambling to get out of the way. They almost collided as he turned around first base, but a good gamble right here, and the double pump by Lewis Brinson allowed Michael A. Taylor to get in there. Did you see him have trouble getting the ball out of his glove? Sticks his cleat in the bag, just gets in there. So a leadoff double here in the 7th for Michael A. Taylor on a great at-bat. He stayed in the at-bat by fouling some tough pitches off down the right field line, got a hanger and knew what to do with it.
6 extra bases, rather total bases for Michael A. Taylor tonight. Stevenson, good speed, can handle the bat. Marlins looking for a bunt here. Corner infielder shallow. Defoe on deck.
Bunt it hard to third if you're bunting it hard.
He was swinging all the way.
You know what, Carver, as a baseball player, when you're scuffling, you get in your own head. Things start to go fast. You start to overthink things, and you're just thinking about baseball. But something as little as going home, seeing your family, can help you relax a little bit. It's what I used to call a reality check. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen to me because I'm struggling right now? You know, I still got a great family. Everybody still loves me. I go home and see everybody, and it relaxes you as a player. You get going so fast in this game, and the games keep piling up, and the at-bats keep coming at you, and everyone's calling you and telling you, you'll be okay, hang in there, you're doing this. Your friends are like, keep your head in there, you're pulling your shoulder up. You got a million things going on. But something as big or little, however you want to put it, as an off day with your family, being home is what I call a reality check, and you know that everything's going to be all right. Michael A. Taylor's a different guy here tonight than he's been all season.
Sure looks like it. Stevenson takes the fastball down and in, 2-1.
it takes you out of that bubble of, oh my gosh, you know? It just helps you take a deep breath.
Sure.
And sometimes it's exactly what the doctor ordered. You wonder if that's playing a role. It worked for me in the past.
Two-one count. Rojas trying to sneak in behind Michael. Two and one to Andrew. Off speed pitch floating away and he couldn't reach it.
Yeah, I just felt like as a left-handed hitter in these situations, it was easier just to bunt, because sometimes if a guy's throwing mid-90s, it's hard to get out there and pull it to the right side, especially if you're a spray hitter like Andrew. Just kind of seal the deal early, lay down a bunt, and go get some high fives. It's tough to pull a guy. Now he's got a battle with 2 strikes.
Yeah, bunt hasn't been on here. That's going to be a good take to get the count full. Or rather 4-4 game in the 7th. It was 2-0, 2-2, 4-2, now 4-4. Easy take, and that's big because over to third goes Taylor. Nick Wickren threw the fastball away, and the Nats have a corner situation with nobody out. It's a walk and a wild pitch.
I'll get him over every single time. You throw a ball to the screen, I am going to advance on you. So good at bat by Andrew, getting to a 3-2 count, and then just a yanked fastball off Hunter Windelstadt's foot. For every Nats walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 support Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Washington. The Nats have drawn 193 walks for $9,650. Care First encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle.
That's 90 feet away from making Max Scherzer the pitcher of record for a possible W. Defoe 1-for-1 career against Wickren, and he takes that one upstairs.
You have that safety squeeze deal that Davey Martinez loves right here in play if you're thinking about it. Speed everywhere, all 3.
And Defoe takes a strike. Ball might have handcuffed him had he swung. Wilmer with 12 RBIs. Outfield way around to the left, especially Lewis Brinson in center. This one slicing foul.
You know what I'm going to say, right? It's always easier for the first guy to seal the deal here than putting pressure on the second and the third.
That's right. Plus a righty-righty matchup next.
Yeah, I always felt you had to do it with no outs, driving the run from third, because then the second guy tries too hard and the third guy's got no chance. Not that it always goes that way, but you like to do it right here, right now.
A double, a walk, a wild pitch. Great opportunity to take the lead. And Defoe takes it upstairs, 2-2. Defoe off speed and able to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's a good description, Carp. Get rid of it. That's a good foul ball. Too close to take. Live to fight another pitch.
Ball 3.
Well, a lot of managers start the runner right here. A lot of managers will let Wilmer hit with no interference. We'll see what Dave Martinez does. No outs, they both work, so we'll see what the skipper decides. I think he's hanging around personally. See.
Payoff pitch, nobody out. Stevenson is holding, bases loaded for Trey Turner.
Good at bat, lines moving, same seats, every cliche you could think of.
Trey Turner, 0 for 2 career against Nick Whitgren. Pitching coach Juan Nieves to the mound. One of their 2 lefties, Adam Conley, for Bryce Harper, who's next.
I mean, this is most importantly for a Nats win, but also for a Max Scherzer win, to win number 8. This is huge.
Yeah, he's only thrown 140 some pitches his last 2 times out. Boys would love to get him a W. Turner 0 for 3. Bohr on the grass at first, edge of the grass at third for Anderson.
Oh, he wants that one back. It was sitting up there for him.
Oh, look at Trey, 6 for 20, producing 16 RBIs. Evidently, he's not content chasing one guy home. Well, Max's work is done. Turner on 0-2, off to the right. Wow, close. Good take. Ball 1.
I didn't think it was real close just because of how Real Muto catches it going away from the hitter. Watch. Tried to frame it there for a second. Actually closer. You nailed it, Carp. It was closer than I thought.
1-2 now. Easier take. Now all the pressure shifts to Whitgren.
Yeah.
He cannot go 3-2 here.
I'm thinking the same thing. You're going to squeeze it now. 0-2 to 2-2. Now Trey a little bit back into the count, driver's seat action, and if it gets to 3-2, look out.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Doing a great job of not trying to do too much with those pitches away.
Well, that was a fastball, and you know, you get just enough slider in the back of your head to think, you know, okay, I'm sitting fastball, but he could throw the slider, and that's why you're just a click late on it.
2-2, outfield around to the right a bit, and Trey fouls one off his foot. All right, pitch number 8 about to happen. Turner off speed. This has a chance to have everybody safe. Everybody is safe. And the Nats lead 5-4. Taylor scores Turner's 20th RBI. And the line 90 feet at a time moving here.
Well, you're not going to get Trey at first. Your only play here is if your Rojas is to come flying in and go home, but I think Andrew Stevenson might have caused a little traffic there for him. And Max Scherzer just realized he's got a chance to make up for his last outing against the Dodgers with a tough luck no decision and get a W here tonight based on that great at-bat by Trey Turner. 9-pitch gem, he put it in play, and the line is moving here in the 7th, folks. Don't move a muscle.
Conley and Harper in a moment. Do you need expert printing? The UPS store has you covered. Together, there's nothing they can't solve. Adam Conley, Bryce Harper. We'll check the matchup number. Be back in a second. Lots of good news here. The Nats are on top 5-4. Bases still loaded, nobody out. And Bryce Harper is 3 for 9 career against Adam Conley with 2 RBIs.
Yeah, fastball 95, slider, changeup. You remember Conley was a starter. The Nats have faced him as a starter. He made 8 starts in AAA this year. Got recalled on May 18th. Bryce Harper looking to crack this thing open.
Conley, career against the Nats, 1-5 with a 7.09 ERA as a starter. And Bryce has taken a couple of mid-90s heaters. It's 0-2. Sitting on 34 RBIs, 5th most in the league.
Well, it doesn't take much for a sac fly. He's got speed everywhere. All 3 runners can fly. Solid numbers.
Yeah, 3 walks in there as well, but the count is 0-2. Harper not fooled by the breaking ball and all over it.
I mean, you look at Conley's career as a starter, this has to be his biggest relief appearance right here. Bases loaded, nobody out, Bryce Harper hit.
Rendon next, then Adams. Way outside, 2-2, and now the pressure shifts again to the man on the mound. Bryce Harper guides it down the line to bring in a couple. Stevenson followed home by Defoe. Everybody safe. Into third, Turner. Into second, Harper. And the Nats lead 7-4.
That was a pretty piece of hitting by Bryce Harper. So you got a sidearm slinging, three-quarter releasing lefty that's throwing upper 90s, and what do? You just stay on one the other way. I have no idea why the third baseman was playing in there. Brian Anderson's on the grass with 2 strikes to take away the bunt. I mean, there's no reason the Marlins third baseman should have been in on the grass. That was odd, and Bryce took advantage.
3 runs in, second and third, still nobody out. They've walked Rendon, and they'll go lefty-lefty with Matt Adams.
I mean, I should have seen that before. I can't believe that he was standing on the grass with 2 strikes to Bryce Harper. You got to get range there. Not that he would have caught that anyways, but he would definitely had a chance to dive for it. He's standing right where he's standing right now with his toes on the grass. Unbelievable. Chopper off the plate, maybe? I have no idea why he's playing there. I guess to get the run at the plate.
Matt Adams faces Adam Conley for the first time. Ball 1.
Still, he could have been back at least 2 steps. That was odd.
Foul tip. 1-1.
So the corners were in for the double play at home, I guess. But when you're playing back in the middle, you'd think he'd be a couple steps back. I guess Don Mattingly's thinking, well, we're going to cut that run off at the plate if he hits it to third. But he definitely limited his range there. It's just a weird configuration against the left-hander. But I guess they were trying to cut down the run at the plate, and that's where they're going to start turning the double play. But usually you'll see the middle infielders in like they are now if you're going to cut down the run at the plate.
So Adams strikes out. 1 out. Another lefty-lefty matchup here as Juan Soto has a chance to add on to his RBI total of 3. He's the 8th national to bat here in the 7th. Be a great test for the youngster. Hard throwing lefty.
Chance to do some damage. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Yeah, they've moved their center fielder to the right of center out there. That's a nice big hop. And the Marlins are going to avert a disastrous inning by turning a double play. The Nats get 3 and lead 7-4. Dealer. Visit VWDealer.com for the Volkswagen dealer near you. And by Ocean City, Maryland. There's no end to the fun you'll have in Ocean City. Plan your trip tonight at OCOcean.com. Beautiful view. Downtown Miami. A couple of miles to the west, Marlins Park. Davey Martinez now. Over to the bullpen, he turns it. Tim Collins first up for Boer, Castro, and Anderson. Bottom 7.
Strike thrower, fastball 93, curveball 76. Occasional changeup to right-handers at 85.
Breaking ball, 0-2.
The reason, as you look at Andrew Stevenson and left, there's a Billy Wagner comparison to Tim is he short arms the baseball. Watch his release, kind of a bent arm release, right out of his ear. And even though it's 93, 94, it'll play up based on he's not giving you that long arm motion. He's hiding the baseball. Watch.
Inning in 2/3 of scoreless relief on not consecutive days, but a day in between his 2 outings. Two and 2. That's a swing and a miss. Ball got away. Boer puts his head down and walks right by Pedro Severino. 1 out.
That made it a little easier. Put some sizzle in your summer with Nationals Summer Sizzler 3-pack. Get 3 Summer Nats games and a free Nats branded grill. I want that grill, by the way. You guys send one of those to my house. Started just $39 per pack. Visit nationals.com for all the details. Can you imagine having that for a cookout? It's cool. You scuff it up a little bit.
We don't scuff with this ball club. Bottom of the 7th, 1 down, and a new pitcher. Looks like Wander Suero.
In Exmo, we're going to show you Matt Adams. First his 12th Tater of the year and his 30th RBI. Just out of here. And then he did a little pirouette at third because Martin Prado tried to tag him just in case they didn't call it a home run. They both had a little giggle. And how about the over-the-shoulder touchdown pass catch thing? Matt Adams is doing everything for this ball club. One of the best off-season acquisitions in baseball right there. You're looking at him. The 100% fiber optic network means more speed for more devices at once. Visit getfiles.com.
Love watching that guy hack. Wander Suero and Starlin Castro. 1-1.
8th appearance. 225 earned run average. Cutter curveball combination. Cutter in the upper 80s to low 90s.
A couple of righties now. Castro followed by Anderson. And that one up and in. No way to get to that. Most hitters will have a hole in their swing right there. That ball hammered. Turned around 94. And Castro 2 for 4 tonight. Brian Anderson next.
I'll tell you what, if you're Dave Martinez, you're the manager, you got to love what you're seeing from Tim Collins, huh?
3 scoreless outings in a row.
He's coming right in, pumping strikes, going right after guys. Fearless. Second chance in the big leagues after a couple Tommy Johns, and he's been real good.
And as mentioned before, lightening the load of Sammy Solis, who happens to be throwing right now. Maybe for Derek Dietrich, who's next. I would say certainly for Derek Dietrich, who's next. Anderson scored 2 runs tonight without hitting the ball. Hit by a pitch and walked. 1-1. So right now, key for the Nats, bridging the 3-run top of the inning into the 8th for the bullpen. Trying to keep the Marlins off the board here and then getting everything set up. 2-1 low. Marlins are saying it is Prado's left hamstring he pulled tonight. The right one had him on the DL 3 times last year. That ball's driven to right center. Not catchable. It's going to hit the wall at the 392. Castro around. Defoe's relay late. And the Marlins right back on the board. It's now 7-5.
You can't consistently live behind in the count at the major leagues. It'll haunt you. Big league hitters know what to do with 2-1 fastballs. And Brian Anderson splitting the gap for his 12th double this season, making this a 2-run game.
And getting the tying run into the batter's box. Sammy Solis will face Derek Dietrich. So Suero gives up a single and a double. Could be responsible for up to 2 runs. Sammy Solis and Derek Dietrich. He's 1 for 8 against him. produced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
There's our hotel right there. See it, Carp?
One of those, yeah.
It's right
It's
there.
real tall, I know
It's
that.
tall one. The lights on it.
Intracoastal waterway behind. So here we go, game situation. Derek Dietrich and Sammy Solis. Sammy's 27th game. The Nats are about 50 games into their season, so every day Sammy more than half the time. And as mentioned, Derek Dietrich 1 for 8 against him with 3 strikeouts. Big run at second, tying runs in the box. 1 out, 7th inning. Dietrich hit a towering homer off Max's last time up. Seemed like a long time ago. It was last inning. Front door on a breaking ball. 0-2. Dietrich this year hitting .345 with runners in scoring position. It's in the top 10 in the National League. One and two. Fastball. See ya. 2 down. Dietrich guessing possibly. He could not pull the trigger.
I think Sammy thought it was a 3rd out. He kind of cruises off the mound. First of all, great pitch on the black. He thought the inning was over, and then he had to play it off, but that's okay. Good pitch. One more to get. Sometimes you're so locked in on getting the out, you forget how many there are.
He pitched like there are 2 out.
That's all right. Hey, it's all right.
There's Miguel Rojas. 2-run single tonight. And against Sammy, a walk, a strikeout, 0 for 3 against the Nats lefty. Much better night for the Nats, batting .600 with runners in scoring position. Marlins have had a lot of opportunities. 7 runners stranded to this point. 2-0. Three and one. Breaking ball missed. Walked him. Tying runs on base with 2 outs.
I think that's going to do it for Sam. Here comes Davey Martinez.
About to employ his 4th pitcher of the inning. So you saw Brandon Kintzler. Brinson next for the Marlins. Lots of wheels turning in a 2-run game. His 5-8 career, 21 games, 15 starts against the Fish. Wei-Yin Chin is 1-5 with a 4.69, 8 games, 7 starts against the Nats. Michael Morse is in the studio this weekend with Johnny Holiday. They'll get you going with Nats Extra pregame, 3:30 tomorrow. FP and I will hop aboard at 4 and bring you first pitch at 4:10 tomorrow, game 2 of this 3-game set. Who will be going for a series win tomorrow? Brandon Kintzler will have a lot to say about that. Righty-righty matchup here. Lewis Brinson and Kintzler match up for the first time. 2 on, 2 out.
There's a fastball from Brandon. 2-seamer. Has a lot of arm side run to it. Late sink. Averaging 92.4 miles an hour this year. Slider at 7% of the time. 86. Changeup 88. Needless to say, huge out right here, right now. Ooh.
Boy, that ball was chasing him inside.
I think he hit off his back leg a lot like Bryce did the other day. I'm guessing back, outer thigh. Yep. That's hard to do, folks.
Oh, 2. Fastball up for the foul.
We got to see, you're starting to see what they like about Brinson. He's got a quick swing, quick bat. Maybe young player, the strike zone discipline will follow, but he's got the thoroughbred look and he definitely has a good swing. Looks like a young Devon White to me standing in the batter's box.
Well, the Brewers and the Marlins liked him enough to make him part of some multiplayer deals for veterans, moving one way and young talent going the other.
Yeah.
Two and two. Severino keeps Anderson at second with that play.
This is what Bob's talking about right here. Gone from last season. Check it out. Those are some pretty good players. I thought for a few years the Marlins had the best complete outfield in baseball.
Stanton, Ozuna, Yelich. They're all gone. 2-2. Brinson was considered Milwaukee's top prospect at this time a year ago. Just turned 24 on the 8th of May. He's a Lauderdale kid. Was committed to become a Gator when he signed with the Rangers out of Coral Springs High School. So 2-2. Nats up by 2. Couple of guys aboard. Deuce is real wild here in the 7th. Ball 3. Left-hander with some pop next. Davey Martinez has gone through 4 bullpen guys here in the 7th. And with the runners on the move, swing and a miss to put it into the 8th. Kinsler. Biggest pitch of the night for the Nats bullpen. So the Marlins get 1. The Nats lead by 2 with a couple of long innings to go in this one. By visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. By LG OLED TV with AI ThinQ. And by Lexus. Experience amazing.
People really don't walk that fast in Miami, I swear. I want to show you the swing. This is a young player, but this is today's game in a nutshell. 3-2, 2 outs. Right here, Lewis Brinson's trying to win the game. I mean, that's a 3-0 hack. Watch the head fly out, the big, huge swing. This is a 2-strike approach that you used to see in the day just to keep the line moving. You know, make it a 7-6 game. let the next guy drive in a run. But this is what you see. I'm not getting on this guy right here, Lewis Brinson. I'm just saying that's the way the game has evolved. Instead of trying to put the ball in play to keep it going, he was thinking 8-7, I'm going to win this game, even though he had 2 strikes on him.
31-year-old Odrisamer Despagne, a little older than Lewis Brinson. First time the Nats saw this guy a couple of years ago as a San Diego starter. So the 8th inning commences. Severino, Taylor, Stevenson. Pedro tonight 0 for 2, hit by a pitch, and a run scored ahead of the Taylor homer way back in the 2nd.
Yeah, and Carp, that's not a young mistake. That's just what the game has evolved into. You're doing damage no matter what the count is. There's no choking up. There's no, I mean, Juan Soto does it. We see Joey Votto do it. Bryce does it a lot with 2 strike adjustments. Good take right there. That just missed. But he was trying to go deep, and he was trying to win it, even though it was a 3-2 count. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But in a nutshell, to me, that one swing is the reason we showed it again, is what the game has evolved into now.
2-2 to Severino. A suddenly hot Taylor on deck, and that's inside, ball 3. Breaking ball. Pedro reaches out and hits it to left. Dietrich, 1 out, 8th inning. Taylor next. Michael A's had a great night. You know, this is more of a veteran player thing. I read a note yesterday. You know, we're talking about all the way hitters are approaching things this year, trying to create launch angle, which to me means you're almost trying to hit a home run every time you swing the bat. There are 8 All-Stars from last year hitting under 220 in baseball this year.
Well, the whole sinker thing that's getting hit out of the ballpark now, because everyone has uppercut swings, is going to come back in vogue when everyone goes to the high fastball and you can't do much with it because of your swing plane.
Yeah.
It's all going to come back, and sinker ball guys are going to be in vogue here in a year or so. Watch.
Could happen as early as tomorrow. Who knows? 1-1 to Michael A. And Michael couldn't stop on a rolling breaking ball. 2-2.
Yeah.
Hanging on that back foot forever. I don't know if that threw Michael A off, but he froze on a fastball down the middle. 2 down.
Well, the Johnny Cueto shake and bake. Hold it there for a second.
Here's Andrew Stevenson. Drew a key walk after the Taylor double last inning. And on the pitch that walked Andrew, Nick Whitgren threw a wild pitch, and that put Taylor at third, and the Nats went on from there to score 3. RBIs by Turner and Harper. Bryce a couple. Ball 2. Pulled the string on him on a 2-0 count. Well, Well, you just heard Wilmer Defoe toss the donut off his bat,
Yep.
anticipating walking to the box. Here he comes, and Stevenson walks twice in a row since coming in. Wilmer walked after the Stevenson walk in the 7th to load him up for Turner.
You know, I think would be cool is if a hitter walked up there with his helmet crooked against Espana.
Or Fernando Rodney.
Yeah, just take your helmet, Wilmer, and just like kind of cock it toward right center field, and then counteract his hat being sideways, and now you're on the same playing field. It's like, you want to do that? All right, let's go. I'm going to face my helmet toward first.
There's a lot of things in baseball that have gone sideways this year. So Defoe's going to drop one in there. Stevenson to third. High throw. It gets away, and it goes into the Miami dugout. That will score Andrew Stevenson. All the way to third goes Defoe, and the Nats lead 8-5. Gutsy base running right in front of the center fielder.
So give Wilmer a base hit. Give Andrew Stevenson a star for the aggressive base running. Brinson thought he had it, got close to it, and then launched it. Good throw has Andrew. It would have been close at least. But up by 3 or 2, I like the gamble. See Anderson calling for the ball down. Good job by Bob Henley showing Andrew Stevenson where the ball was. Went in the dugout, cruise home. Nicely done.
Base hit, E8, no RBI. All that matters is the Nats have a 3-run lead back, and here's Trey. And he's going to bust his bat. That ball dove on Rojas, and Turner's safe. It's 9-5.
Took a bad hop.
That thing must have had some overspin on it. Rojas dove higher than the ball was coming.
It had to do something. Maybe a knuckleball? Wind shear? Upburst? Downburst? Something. You don't see that very often. I'm going with a bad hop. Either way, it's a run for the Nats, and it's a 4-run lead.
Trey Turner gets a base hit for that, which is an RBI, of course. Oh, hold on. Guess the scoreboard jumped the gun. They put 10 hits on the board. Our truck heard E6. Yeah, now they've taken the hit off the scoreboard, so that's what got me. So the Nats still at 8 runs on 9 hits. Pardon me. 9 runs on 9 hits. Marlins have relied on some decent defense this year. 5th in the league coming in. Had a couple of costly mistakes in this inning.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. There's no lights that it could get lost in. Even if it's a knuckleball, you generally don't fan on it. And Miguel Rojas is a really good shortstop defensively. I think he was showing his second baseman, Starlin Castro, that the ball went down, of course, late, but I don't know if there was pine tar on it because it broke his bat and that fooled with the trajectory. I don't know. That was weird.
Nats by 4. Harper 2 RBIs last time, and he takes that breaking ball down and in.
Show me that again. Let's see. What did it do? What did the ball do? It didn't seem like it did anything.
Credit Trey Turner for not stopping
Yeah.
when his line drive went right at somebody on the infield.
Good call.
2-2 to Bryce. Turner running, and this one out of play. Now we know Trey Turner will be running. I think our right fielder's thinking about airing one out here.
Timeout for the shift. Okay.
They overlap Anderson. Leave Rojas on the left side. Harper off speed. I think I mentioned this before. The first team that we ever saw do that was the Marlins. They would leave Hanley Ramirez at short, who was DFA'd by the Red Sox today. Hanley Ramirez let go by Boston.
I saw somewhere where somebody wrote the Mets' new infield will be Batista, Reyes, Ramirez, and Agon.
Wow. 3-2 to Harper. Rice fouls another.
Staying in the fight. Pitch number 9 coming.
Attacks in all quadrants. Harper up the middle. Corralled by the shortstop Rojas. And just walking over to third is Trey Turner on a Bryce base hit. Second of the night.
Nice at bat. So Bryce turns an 0 for 3 into a 2 for 5 with some damage. Both hits coming to the big part of the ballpark, double down the line and base it up the middle. I thought this was going to hit the bag. Right over the mound, going for the bag. And then with the shift, nobody at third. Heads up by Trey Turner. Watch, there's nobody there. I'll just keep cruising over here. Let's cruise on over.
First and third, 2 outs. 2 runs already in. Now the Nats are in double digits with 10 hits.
Anthony's telling Hunter Windelstedt about his rehab on his foot right now, and that he went down and got some at-bats, and now he's ready. Could hear him.
I'll say he's ready. 3 for 3 with a walk tonight. Rendon right field line. J.B. Shuck catches the foul ball. That was a long top of the 8th for the Marlins. Nets pick up a couple, and now they lead by 4, and Brandon Kitzler has some more work.
Play Bryce Harper has got a couple of hits in his last few at-bats. Let's go down to Dan, who's got more on something about something.
You're right about that, FP. Brandon Kinsler, talking to him before the game, he's been getting decent results this year, but he kept coming out of his appearances not really satisfied with how his sinker was moving, so he went back and put video of his recent outings to footage from the playoffs last year and immediately noticed that his elbow was a few inches lower in his set position than it had been last year. Just a small difference. So he went and flew through off flat ground the other day and feels that minor adjustment has made a major difference. His sinker's back where he wants it.
From a hitting standpoint, too, you tinker with your back elbow where it is, and it gets you on top on playing to the baseball. And maybe just by raising that elbow, as you saw, a little chicken wing action there that gets him on top of his sinker and gets that late movement like that.
Good sinking heater down and away from the lefty. Close. Trey Turner throws out J.B. Shuck. So it took Brandon 8 pitches to get that strikeout on Brinson. And as the Marlins now get up to the pitcher spot, top of the order, it'll be Yadiel Rivera. '26-year-old right-handed hitting infielder from Puerto Rico. 0 for 2 in one game with the Brewers last year. Another guy who comes from Milwaukee to Miami. Marlins signed him as a minor league free agent toward the end of November.
Ouch. Beating himself up. Might give you an idea what Brandon's sinker's like tonight. You saw that with Lewis Brinson, too.
Sean Doolittle. Sean would be just fine if he pitched the 9th inning and it was a non-save situation. That's up by 4 right now. Could have him in mind this inning for Justin Bour. We'll see. Maybe somebody getting on base in front of Bour dictates that situation. Three and two. Pretty good job by Rivera of laying off that high pitch. JT Realmuto is next.
I mean, ideally, the manager would love a ground ball right here and let Sean Doolittle start a clean 9th inning. I don't think he wants to stretch his left-hander out for 5 outs or even 4. We'll see.
Phillies final in. They lost at home to Toronto 6-5.
Real Muto can run a little bit, so it'd have to be hit hard right at somebody to turn one. 0-2 is the count.
We heard two sounds there, and evidently it was fouled. Fastball up. And the Red Sox had just added on against the Braves. 6-2 Boston after 8 at Fenway. Could be quite a profitable evening for the Nats in the NL East. Mets are down 3-2 at Milwaukee. Now we understand the Boston game's gone final. On a pitch up, there's Real Muto with a base hit. Yeah, you're right. This is getting a little dicey. Right now, the tying run is in the on-deck circle, but this is pretty early, and Davey is coming up to the top step. We'll see what might take place here. Looks like Williquist maybe checking with the bullpen there.
Here you go, double switch. He was making sure whoever he's double switching in the game is ready. Let's see.
So Kinsler will pitch 2/3 of an inning. 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and responsible for 2 men aboard. The Nats still need 5 outs to nail this thing down. Aboard. Justin Bohr has never faced Doolittle, so a lot of things happening here in the 8th inning with quite a ways to go.
Yeah, fastball 94, 90% of the time. Try to get you some averages on Sean's pitches here in a second.
So into the ball game, Adrian Sanchez at second for Wilmer Defoe. Sanchez will take over the number 5 spot where the pitcher was. And the pitcher now batting 9th.
Get this, Sean has thrown 273 four-seam fastballs this year. Opponents are 9 for 66. That's a 136 average against his heater. Throws it 90% of the time. They know it's coming.
Well, a couple of Virginia guys battling here. Justin Bohr went to George Mason. Sean Doolittle, of course. A Cavalier lefty-lefty matchup that happens for the first time.
A little giddy up on that 94. Knows it's coming 90% of the time. Most big leaguers are tremendous fastball hitters. That's how you get here. And Sean blows it by Justin for strike 2. Here comes the high one, by the way. Oh.
Ooh, he threw him a slight piece. 2 down here in the 8th.
That was a good pitch. Everybody knows he's going to throw a fastball with 2 strikes. Tricked us, but more importantly, it tricked a power hitter. Nasty slider from Sean Doolittle for the 2nd out.
Starlin Castro is next. Castro career 0 for 2 against Sean. And this one in the air, right side, but well out of play.
That little piece of organ music sure got the place going.
Sign said, "Get loud, Miami."
That sounded like, well.
Wow. Several parts of the bat fair, ball foul.
Smelling the wood. Those are the one back in the days, if guys corked their bat, would make their heart skip a beat. The one that split right down the middle like that, because that's right where the cork used to go. Not that I would know, I just heard.
That bat come up, part of that come up and hit Castro?
Yeah, it did, little splinters. Right? Oh.
Wow.
All fun and games till you put an eye on it.
That was dangerous. Doolittle to Castro now, 0-2. One hopper, Trey Turner. Short way, close, out. Good thing about that situation, Sean didn't have to throw a ton of pitches to get those 2 outs. So he'll have plenty in the tank for the bottom of the 9th. Adams, Sanchez, Severino, straight ahead, 9-5. Nats, 5-10-2 Marlins. A lot of things happening in this game. Max Scherzer could still be the winner. And this is 27-year-old Tyron Guerrero from Boca Chica, Colombia. 1 game with the Padres 2 years ago. This will be his 24th with the Marlins so far.
He walked down the mound, and I'm thinking, this guy throws 100. He has to throw 100. 6'8", 210. He's 27 years old, and guess what? His fastball is averaging 98 miles an hour, so close. Get you some information and see if he has hit 100 this year.
Nats will see him for the first time. Adams will lead off. Then Sanchez, who came into play second, followed by Severino.
He's thrown this year 45 pitches at 100, 7 at 101, and 1 at 102. So there you go.
Well, it's all buckle up together.
54 pitches at 99.
Took a little bit off.
Change up. Strike one. Seems like every team has a guy that throws triple digits now, doesn't it?
Professional baseball since 2010 in the minors for the Padres almost that whole time. I guess you always kind of look at control numbers to see why an arm like that wasn't in the big leagues earlier, and I think the strikeouts to walks kind of tell you that. 0-2, and Adams takes it.
Sometimes the secondary pitches, Carp, don't match up even though you throw 100. If that's all you can throw for a strike, big league hitters will hit it.
Yeah.
Those are two sliders that didn't do much, so that might give you an idea.
By the way, Sean Doolittle got those last 2 outs on 6 pitches to set up his outing in the 9th.
.101.
All right, let's reflect some of the things going on tonight. Right now, the Nats 2.5 back of the Braves. They hold on here. It's down to 2. Adams rolls one over to Justin Bour for the first out, top 9.
Should be a fun little matchup for Adrian Sanchez, a guy that knows how to hit a fastball. Maybe not so much fun coming off the bench, but he's a good fastball hitter.
Yeah. An RBI, 3 for 15, playing in his 8th ball game. Up and down twice between DC and Syracuse this year. High in the air, near the line, into foul ground, and our cameras find that corner that's blind to us, and a good play by J.B. Shuck. 2 down. Pedro Severino 0 for 3. Hit by a pitch tonight. He's had a very busy night working with lots of different people behind the plate tonight. Sean Doolittle, the Nats' 6th pitcher of the evening. After Max battled his way through 114 pitches in 6 innings and in line for his 8th win. Some nights the run support takes care of business for you if you can battle long enough, and that's what Max did.
Isn't it funny if the Nats hang on to win this, which they got 3 outs to go, so long way to go. And Max has a chance to win this one when he lost a tough one last time.
Yeah.
Strange game.
And the first time a Nats starter's given up more than 3 runs in over 3 weeks. On the scoreboard, there was a flash of fire as they put up the 98.
Ooh. I think I had the same reaction you did to the baseballs as mound visits right there.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow with a comma rather
Yeah.
than exclamation point.
Fun hitting 100, I'll tell you that. You got to predetermine that you're swinging and hope it's a strike. There ain't a whole lot of time to make a decision. Just the difference between 95 and 99 is tremendous as a hitter.
And on that one upstairs, it's a 1-2-3 ninth for Tyron Guerrero. Sean Doolittle will face Anderson, Dietrich, and Rojas. Nats 3 outs away. Because when Sean Doolittle came in, there were 2 men aboard, and the tying run was in the on-deck circle. So of the 5-out variety he's trying to get here, 6 pitches, 6 strikes to finish up the 8th. First up is Brian Anderson, who's 0 for 2 career against him. Looks like they'll pinch hit Cameron Maben for Dietrich right after that. Brian Anderson last time up, the double to right center that knocked out Wander Suero. Cameron Maben, who started his career here. That's overpowering a right-handed batter. Matt Adams says, I've got it. 3 straight outs recorded, and important ones for Sean Doolittle.
Cameron Maben got a package in his locker the other day.
Well,
he opened it up and it was his Houston Astros World Series ring. Put it on, showed it around to everybody in the clubhouse. Was wearing it for breakfast. He said he's been playing for a long time and a lot of guys play for money. His only motivation was to win a World Series, and he finally won one.
He went 1 for 3 in the series with a stolen base for the Astros. After they picked him up on waivers August 31st, he played in 21 games.
He said he saw the package in his locker, he looked at it, and it was from the Astros, and he knew right away.
Cool.
Very cool story.
0 for 2 career against Sean Doolittle. Uncertain swing, 0 and 2.
Get the highlighter out. What's that mean? I'll have to ask him tomorrow. He was big. I talked to him on the plane coming here, Dave Martinez, and he said, hey, look, until we get our guys back, I love what our guys are doing. They're grinding one game at a time, just win one game, hover around or above 500 till we get healthy, and then we'll get all the guys back at the right time, boom, and then we go. He was so positive about the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's always so upbeat, always looking at the bright side of everything, where a lot of managers would say, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, hey, just win one game. That's what I tell him every day. Just win today. We're one day closer to getting everybody back, and the guys that I got here are doing a great job. Love his attitude.
Yeah, and then right on the heels of that, the news that Murphy and Goodwin will be rehabbing at AA Harrisburg. So we finally come to Florida, and Daniel Murphy leaves the state. But that's good news, because he's heading north to play.
Remember we used to say about Gio, you just get within 10 feet of him and it makes your day? Same goes for the new skipper. He's always positive. He's always thinking about good thoughts. Always talking about what his players can do, not what they can't do, which a lot of coaches get into.
There it is, game over, 10:48. It took a while. That was a long night of baseball. The Nats win it 9-5. Max Scherzer goes to 8-1. Sean Doolittle gets his 10th save of the year. And he comes in and goes boom, boom, and then boom, boom, boom. 5 in a row, and we can beat the drum for this one. The Nats are now 27-22 and 2 games out of first place. For FP and Dan, Bob, the final. Nats win it by 4. Tomorrow, 3:30. Coverage begins on Mass and 2.